Look at this picture. After the barbaric massacre carried out by Hamas in the Israeli towns bordering Gaza, Germany decided to project the Israeli flag on the Brandenburg Gate in Berlin. Similar gestures were also made in France, the US, the UK, and even Australia. Moving, right? Unfortunately, the short history of the State of Israel teaches us that it is only a matter of time before the Western world starts shouting that Israel is committing war crimes. It is also not surprising that Hamas supporters have already begun demonstrating around the world while harnessing the international media and social network to their side. And what will Israel's reaction be? But we weren't civilians to leave. We are the most moral army in the world. Look, we are victims too. Such responses will have no chance as long as more images of casualties and destructions flow from Gaza. Hamas terrorists and the Palestinians in general will return to play the role of eternal victims. This will be the end of Israel's legitimacy. Let's take a step backwards. Western culture is making a serious mistake by not understanding radical Islam. In Arabic, Islam means submission, and its culture is based on authoritarianism and honor. In contrast, Western liberal morality is based on the belief that the most helpless and weak are always right. When these two cultures collide, the side that knows how to subdue the other wins. Jewish morality, on the other hand, assumes that every person is created in God's image, that human life is important, and we must make every effort to preserve it. Reality and history proves that those who give in to evil and barbarism eventually harm more human lives. In the competition of which side is more victim than the other, we must simply tell the truth. The moral side is the right side. Jewish sages said, whoever has mercy on the cruel will end up being cruel to the merciful. Judaism teaches that when going to war against a culture that sanctifies death, we must fight to absolute victory. Example from history? In World War II, the Allies had forced Nazi Germany and Japan to surrender unconditionally. The heavy price for that surrender was carpet bombing and 2 atomic bombs. Israel is fighting against a society that celebrates and hands out candy after terrorist attacks, where mothers encourage their children to butcher civilians, where workers from Gaza who were allowed to work in Israel for humanitarian reasons gave Hamas information about their employees to help them to kill as many Jews as possible. Harming those who assist and support the enemy is an integral part of victory. Unfortunately, the West still does not understand that the war we are waging here in Israel is not just for us, but for all of humanity. If we do not fight with full force against radical Islam, it will continue to spread and prosper. Now, with the eyes of the whole world on Israel, we must speak clearly. The war on evil is our moral duty. In the name of life, the mission is to fight a war against a culture that glorifies death.